What is up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jake, and today we're going to be discussing the difference between a liability and an asset. Now, anybody who's read Rich Dad Poor Dad kind of has a grasp on this, and I'm going to kind of go over the same concept that they go over in that book, but I do want to put a little spin on it of my own so you guys can kind of see where I'm coming with everything and kind of put it in my own personal life, just so you guys can kind of see what I'm thinking in my mindset, right? But first, I do want to thank you guys very much for 90 subscribers. I hit 90 subscribers literally like maybe like an hour before recording this video. So that's awesome. I appreciate every single person that's subscribed. My goal was to hit 100 subscribers before the end of the year, and I'm already almost at 100 subscribers. So that is awesome. I appreciate it, guys. So thank you very much. And if you are not subscribed and you get anything out of this video, make sure you subscribe. I mean, come on, I shave for you guys. So, all right. But with that being said, we'll hop right into this and discuss the difference between a liability and an asset. I made this beautiful little page for you guys so you can see what I view as a liability. So what is a liability? That is something you acquire after you're paid. So this is money that obviously you can get paid either from life insurance, something like that, selling another asset, but you received money in your own hand, right? So it costs you money over the long term. So let's say a car, for example. You buy the car, of course, it depreciates in value, so it potentially depreciates in value is the next one as you're driving it, and you put more miles on it, plus the maintenance, plus the gas, plus the insurance, so everything. So this is costing you money. It creates little to no positive cash flow. So you are not gaining money off of your car in this example. So you have a negative cash flow when it comes to your personal vehicle. And this can cost you interest and keep you trapped. So for example, your car again, your car is costing you interest if you have a loan out on it, and then you are stuck with that if you lose your job. You don't have enough money to pay for it that month, but you are still stuck with that, and they will pile on penalty after penalty and eventually take your car, so you will no longer even be able to make your cash at your job. That's the example I'm running here. But I have a little diagram for you here up next. So this is the liability. Now, this is you, a hardworking person, up on top here. You're making your cash, so you buy a house, a car, you have credit card debt, and you have a loan. So this house is costing you your mortgage, it's costing you your electricity, your gas, whatever it may be, plus maintenance as well. So all that into your house. You have your car, same thing, it's costing you gas, maintenance. If you have a loan on that, it's costing you that. Your credit cards here, so your house and your car got you tapped out, so you're using credit cards to live a lifestyle that you can't afford per se, so you're using credit cards, so that is costing you even higher interest. And then finally, a loan. So any other personal loans that you have out on from a bank or anything like that, that is also going to crush you. So again, something to note is that house interest rate is probably lower than a car's interest rate, which is probably lower than a loan's interest rate, which is probably lower than a credit card's interest rate, right? But all these things combined are you're shelling out money every single month to keep all these things, but none of these are returning you money. Now, it can be argued that you are gaining equity from the house, this car will get you to your job, and credit cards have cash back, right? But these things are negligible compared to the interest rate you're paying on. The house, for one, the equity is not guaranteed to pay you back. The car, yes, it is making you money by getting you to your job, but a car that costs $500, $1,000, whatever, can get you to that same job for less than, say, a brand new car. And you'll have that paid off faster, right? And credit cards are terrible if you are bad with money. So if you are buying things on a whim and you are not paying these off every single month, every single week, whatever it may be, however your lifestyle works, these are going to cost you more money because the interest rates are insane. They are anywhere from like 10% to 26%, I think is the highest they can go. And then finally your loans, this I think on average is like 5% interest rate. So no matter what, you're not keeping up with even inflation when it comes to that. So that is a liability. So these things are costing you money on every single month basis, right? So next we'll jump into an asset. This is pretty much the complete opposite. And they have some similarities, which you'll see here, but eventually they're going to roll that cash back into you and you are going to be having a positive cash flow. But we'll look at that right now. So what is an asset? It's something you acquire after you pay. So it's the same exact type of thing that you already were going to do when you were going to buy something when it comes to like a car again. But on this one, it makes you money over the long term. So if we stick with the car, maybe you're buying a collector car or a car that is going to keep appreciating over time when there are less and less available. And then potentially increases in value over time. So see, that is increasing over time. Or if you, again, what I'm looking for in my personal life is a investment property, and hopefully multiple within the next couple of years here. But in the neighborhood I live in, everything is increasing in value right now. It creates a positive cash flow. So again, for rental properties, it can create a positive rent flow if the numbers work, and I will be receiving cash for that every single month. And then it makes you money and sets you free. So this is huge. So you are not then, with that positive cash flow, you are not then liable for those assets that you own. They are making you more money than what they are costing you. So if anything were to happen, say to a rental property, or in my case, even dividends, they are still paying me, even though I do not have to do anything to earn that money. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then again, the little diagram here, you're working hard, you're making your money, you buy an investment property. So now this is not the property you per se own, or you can even house hack. If you know what that is, you live with roommates essentially. So that is flowing back into your personal pocket. You use that money then to flow into a second deal. That money will create positive cash flow for you if the numbers are good, of course. And again, I'm using real estate because that's something I want to get into here shortly. But then the cash flow that you are receiving from these two properties are now able to, in equity, are able to buy you a third, and that cash flow will gain even faster. And then you will have a snowball effect, and you will be able to afford more and more as you go on. Now, this timeline is extremely crunched down, of course. I'm not saying you should go buy 3 rental properties now, but that is something that me personally, I'm looking to do. I'm looking to roll this into enough properties so they are paying for themselves, and I will no longer have to support them through my own cash flow that I get from my dividends and from my work. So there you have it, guys. That is my interpretation of what the difference is between a liability and an asset. So breaking it all down to bare bones, bare minimum things, an asset is going to make you money, and a liability is simply only costing you money. That's not to say that an asset does not cost you money, because it will. Again, a rental property, you need to have that capital to be able to go buy it. But in the long term, the original might be small, but in the long term, that property is going to return a value. And I hear a lot of people say that like a house is someone's biggest investment. That is not true. So the house that you live in is a liability. That is not an investment. So keep that in mind. Anything that is costing you money and not making you money, unless you're house hacking, is a liability. All right, guys, so that's it. Thank you very much for the 90 subscribers. I am so appreciative. Make sure to like and comment what you think is a asset versus liability, or just what you liked about, or maybe learned about from something from this video, right? With that being said, guys, thank you very much for watching, and peace.